And we are live once again. This is the Bar Zone podcast. Got my dog, my battle facts, and we got the lovely The Experience with K in the building.
Hi.
Going
How
on,
you doing tonight?
everybody?
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Just
And
talking.
I'm
Everybody. I was
and I'm
talking.
amazing. I'm amazing. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Good.
Okay, so let's start ground zero, right? So
Mhm.
where are you from exactly?
I'm from Willingboro, New Jersey.
Okay.
I'm still in New Jersey, but I'm not in Willingboro anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a YouTube channel. It is The Experience with Kay. If anybody wants to subscribe over there, make sure you head over there. Show her some love. She goes live. She does interviews. Um, her main focus is mental health and suicide awareness. She's an advocate of that.
Mhm.
So how did you get into that?
Whew. So, ironically, I was dealing with a lot of things. In 2017, I had hit a really rough patch, right, and it lasted up until 2020. And a lot of the things I went through, I didn't, typically we don't really know that we're dealing with trauma. We don't really know that we are expressing learned behaviors or what have you. But I had a brush with suicide because I had packed on so much stuff, and I literally one day just snapped and I was going to take my life. But God intervened and he saved me from that. And from then he took me on a journey, and through that journey, he unveiled a lot of things that I needed to take care of and to heal from and to de-learn. And he essentially built me back up. And then at the end of it, this vision was my gift. And the reason why I do it is because I was not able to identify what my problem was. Because within certain the Black and brown communities, mental health was always said it didn't apply to us, right? So I never thought that it was a mental health issue. But at the end of it, I realized it was because I did not tend to my mental health. So because I felt like that, I'm like, I know there's so many other people that feel like that as well. So why not be an advocate? Why not be a face and a voice so I can share my experience with people who may be, struggling with the same things?
That's dope, man. That's always good to try to reach out and help people. Because when you go through things like that, nobody understands how you feel except people who've been through it.
Yep, very
You know what
true.
I'm saying? So to be an advocate, man, it gives some people some sort of guidance or place to go to.
Mhm.
To look, what can I do? Is it light at the end of this tunnel, or is it just, a matter of time before I'm just going anyway? So should I just end it now? Type of situation.
Right. In our country, 1 million people die by suicide every single year. That's 132 people a day, one person every 10.9 minutes. Suicide is one of the three leading causes of death for people 15 to 44 years old. This is a global issue that no one really talks about. So I felt that it was my obligation to start educating people on what it is and kind of, essentially helping them through. Like I don't have a PhD, not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I don't proclaim to be any of that. I'm just speaking from experience, and I'm using my heart to do it. And, you know,
Well, what
trying
do
to
they say is the best teacher though?
experience.
That's right. So, man, sometimes it's just like with business, man. I feel like I've been um pretty good at business. In my life I haven't taken any classes for it or whatever. Experience is the best teacher. Some of my best mentors, or whatever, are just people who just got into business
Right.
or whatever. So I don't think that should deter anybody from seeking counsel or guidance from you.
Thank
Experience
you.
is definitely the best teacher.
Yeah. And it also adds a level of empathy as well, because like you
Mhm.
said, when you went through it, you actually can help someone navigate based off of how you felt, and understanding it in a different capacity and helping them through that. So
Heck, like sharing experiences and stuff. Why do you think it is hard for people to open up, past traumas and just current things that they're going through? Why do you think it's so hard for people, specifically of our, skin color to open up?
man, like 15 different things came to my mind. So I'm gonna try to be swift with it, but
What do you
I'll
think?
I'll say for number one, within our communities growing up, it's always what goes on in my house stays in my house, right? Secondly, it was you don't, it's for men, you don't talk about your feelings, you suppress them. You're not a man if you don't talk about it. You're not a man if you talk about it. You're not a man if you don't feel. That plays a role. Another is because it was always stigmatization affiliated with it. People have a misconception of what mental health is because it was always affiliated with psychiatric ward. But people don't understand, or they're thinking like they need medication or to be locked away somewhere when that's not it. That's mental illness. Mental health simply speaks to your overall mental well-being. You know what I mean? Like, are you okay? Are you living through some things? And if you are, do you need help? And how do you feel you need help? Is it therapy? Is it counseling? And there was also, a negative stigmatization with counseling as well. It was always, that's white people stuff. And that's it basically paralyzed us as a community. Right. And we go through a lot of trauma. And if you keep on piling on and piling on and piling on, you don't have a release. At some point, like pressure bust pipes.
No, that's an absolute fact, man. And to give people a visual of what Kay is talking about, it's just like when you look in the mirror, you turn to the side and you pinch your stomach and you looking at your arms and you checking your physical health, and your teeth and all of those things like that. You got to be able to examine your mental health also. It's just like that. And sometimes you find and you just need a little bit of fine tuning. You don't, like when you get your teeth checked out, you don't necessarily got to get a tooth pulled or whatever, but just the regular maintenance, whatever, your mental health, and just examining it and being humble and open to what could be wrong. And just to give you all a visual, like, what she's saying.
Yeah, that was good. That's a very good way of putting it.
All right. Thank you.
Definitely. Here is her page. Make sure y'all subscribe over there, right? So tell us a little bit about what you do on your channel, because I've seen a lot of interviews and stuff. Do you ever have any open discussions or like
I have not yet. I do want to incorporate that, but I have so many people who I know went through things and they are all with my movement. And a lot of people want to, be on. So what I do is I interview everyday people, whether they be, in the army, working class citizens, black, white, male, female. It's open. It's an open arena. It's essentially, I wanted to create a safe space, right, for people to become comfortable with having difficult conversations. So I have people on, and I'll have like a little powwow with them ahead of time just to kind of see what their story is and see how it can apply. And they come on and they talk about their grievances and they talk about how they got through it. They talk about the mental effects that they felt going through it and how much better they are at the end of it. So it's more so just trying to help people because everybody's story is not the same, right? We all got a story, but they're different. But if people can see someone that they can see themselves in, maybe it'll change their mind to be like, oh, okay, well, all right, if he did it, then I could do it. Or if she did that, maybe it'll work for me. It's just about changing the trajectory of society.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And so in your journey, like you we was talking earlier and you were saying you're not out doing like ratchet stuff and looking for shock value and all of that stuff. So it's hard to get to snowball like this thing and like get it to like really blow up. And I can attest to that it is like in this culture, us especially. How do you feel about that? Like how do you like stay motivated if things are seeming slow?
Because this is an assignment God has me on. I will admit, when I first started, you can get caught up in likes and views and things of that nature. But I had to be reminded that I'm serving a bigger purpose here. So if I can reach one person, if I could change one person's mind, I'm doing my due diligence. Yep. It's not about me, going viral or because that's not what this is about. My heart is truly in this. And I really want people to be better because when you become better, you live better. And your children are direct recipients of that. Your spouses, your friends, everyone. So it's really just about helping people. Like I'm an Aquarius and I'm a humanitarian at heart anyway. So it just works for me. Like I don't worry about that. And I understand too that when the time is right, God is going to align everything that I need. But right now, this is just what it is. And I'm motivated because I'm helping people. And a lot of people message me, they DM me, oh my God, you never know, texting me. So, I'm being effective. I'm growing
I got
slowly, surely.
you. Yeah, and I feel like this is my thing. As far as the views and the money, monetary gain or whatever for things like this, the reward, man, is in the results and just the awareness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Just somebody listening to you talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and feeling like, oh, somebody understands, that may save a life. And I don't know about y'all. To me, life is priceless. You can't put a dollar amount on that.
You
Uh,
cannot.
so then you also you start putting ripples out there. You make this person aware, then they start talking like word of mouth, just like a business.
Yep.
So people who speak about these things, who passionate about these things, should be celebrated more. Everybody in here who watching, commenting or whatever, y'all should subscribe to things like this and spread the word. I don't care if you take just 10, 15, 20 minutes out of your day to listen to something like this and then just pass it on in regular conversation. Make it a regular part of your life.
Yes.
Just like I say, checking out your teeth, your regular health, your body, our hair, all of these things like this, we put so much attention on or whatever. Mental health is just as it's more important.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing functions without the mind, so
Yep.
I think what you're doing is priceless. You can't put a dollar amount on it.
Thank you. I agree. It's very rewarding. Although I'm not even getting paid for it. I get paid by the big man. So like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like it's just really
Yeah,
about
I've seen a clip on your Instagram. I think you had some of your ladies out there, and you actually gave them like literal flowers in real life. Like that means a lot to somebody who may not have somebody applauding them on and cheering them along the way. You know what I'm saying? So
yes. I understand how difficult life is. And again, like I just want to see the good of people. And I know some of my girlfriends, people have stories, right? And I had a girls' night. It was a girls' night. I provided all of. I didn't. And everybody, can I bring something? No, I got it. I wanted them to come. I provide the food, the wine, the games, the atmosphere, everything, and I just wanted them to come in. Let me back up. So when everybody came in, before they was allowed to go into where the festivities were, I had a notepad and I had bought like a 40 pack of gel pens, all different colors because colors make people happy.
Mhm.
And I had a jar. So I told each one that came in, what you have to do is you have to write down what's been bothering you, what's on your mind, or what you're dealing with right now. You don't have to put your name on it. We're not going to talk about it or read it, but fold it up, put it in a jar, and we're going to leave it there because that was essentially them checking it at the door, right? Coming in with an open mind, right? A free heart,
Mhm.
So and just to finish the night up, I just wanted to, give them their flowers because I want them to know like we are all in a fight, maybe different fights, but we all struggle with something, and just know to stay encouraged and to just give them their flowers. And that really touched their heart. And that's what this is all about.
Mhm. I like that, man, and that's another thing too. We gotta applaud people who add structure to their beliefs, like in their causes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, we post and we share memes and all of this stuff or whatever. We do a lot of talking and not a lot of walking.
Yep.
When you add some type of structure, you can get to people better. It's like you said, I know exactly what you mean about, hey, I don't want y'all to feel like y'all got to bring anything. Like I'm gaining really anything except my goal in reaching through to y'all and letting y'all know I'm here and we spreading awareness.
That's it.
That's key. So adding that structure and applying some of those ideas and exercises and make people more comfortable, and people express themselves more openly. I used to speak at the NAACP, and they like, how did you get through to these young boys? They so out of control. I say the first thing I do is relate to them. Y'all wearing suits and y'all telling them they wrong. You wrong. They know stealing is wrong. They know cheating is wrong. So the first question I used to ask them, how many of y'all stole a candy bar or something out of the store before? And I raised my hand. And then they, they're a little tentative first, like to raise their hand, and then I go through the process of my thought process when I was younger, stealing the candy bar. Like my friends got lunch money, They got all these nice lunches and all this other stuff. I'm hungry. I'm like, forget this. I'm just gonna slide it in my pocket. Nobody know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you start seeing the recognition. I'm like, yeah, see, yeah, you thought that you got some chips or something, and then
See?
the hands start coming up, and now they feel like he's one of us. He's
Yep.
not talking down at us or whatever.
Yep.
So I think that's super important, man. So I like just how your mind thinks already, you know, whatever it comes to that.
Thank you. No, but you definitely put that into definition, like being relatable. Sometimes, not sometimes, majority of the time is what breaks those barriers. Because, like you said, they're like, oh, they're not judging me. We all did the same. You know what I mean? So, like that's super dope. And being able to be relatable is also an underrated blessing, right? Because I can adapt to anybody in any situation, you know. But
we do have a question from the chat. Somebody said, "How do you get on as a guest?" To be able to share, I guess, his testimony, his journey, you know, mental health experiences and stuff.
I think that question is for you because he was already a guest on my show.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I have to get on as a guest over here.
For the people to be aware, like maybe think it's a good question.
Ham House Graphics with the on Instagram. Just hit me up. And
it's right down there.
Yeah, and he's awesome too. He's a really good interview. You'll enjoy him.
Justice. I feel like I saw that name before too. Justice.
I feel like he's in our community as well.
Yeah, me too.
He from up top though. He from up north. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Michigan.
Yeah, Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking you guys are in Jersey. So he's in Jersey too, but he's like up north.
Oh, you're in Jersey?
I'm in Jersey, yes.
Yeah, I just talked to a friend of mine in Charlotte. She goes by the name of the Core Queen. Her name is Didi Leggett. And she does a lot of amazing work. So I'm gonna connect you two guys. Awesome. She got a podcast where it's virtually, and then she also has one like in person at her home. But I feel like you guys should link up. It's always good to see, you know, Black women with that type of mentality to lead as an example. Not that it's not good to see, you know, Black men also, but you know, I do feel like you pushing the right narrative. You know what I'm saying? You're putting out the right energy, and I try to connect the dots as much as possible.
I appreciate
the job too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% appreciate that. You know,
especially like networking on YouTube. It works wonders, man. Like when you network with the correct people,
the
ways and the correct avenues. You know what I mean? It definitely works a wonder.
Yep.
Now, you spoke on your personal experiences and what made you become an advocate for this. Can you share how you got over that? Like, how did you conquer your demon that was scratching at your back?
For starters, I was anchored in God. That is the key, right? You have to believe in something or someone. And I'm not here to judge what people believe, but for me, I was anchored in God, and there was God that got me through it. But God said faith without works is dead. So I also had to actively participate in my journey and my healing. So there were, certain things I did. Like if I was struggling with just something, like if I was struggling with something spiritually, then I would either listen to like a podcast. There's a lot of like the TD Jakes and all of the, celebrity, what do they call, like preachers or whomever. They all have like podcasts, right? And they have a lot of different subject matters. So what I would do is, depending on what was on my heart that day, I would go on and I would select a topic that was applicable to what I was feeling. But that was on the spiritual side. So if I was dealing with something psychologically, I would listen to Oprah Winfrey. She had someone on her podcast by the name of Eckhart Tolle. And it was amazing because it helped. God was already restructuring my mind. But listening to that, for me, it connected the dots, right? And it was like a 12 episode series, and I listened to it on my way to work. I channeled my social media intake. I didn't watch the news because I couldn't afford any more negativity. So I just wanted to do things that would feed me, right? And I, withdraw. It really just depends on what people are going through and what they feel they need. But it's important to be able to identify what you need. And then once you be able to identify what you need, then you can go ahead and move forward in how you can help yourself through that. You know, it's going to be a lot of self-help. It's going to be a lot of dark days, and it ain't easy. I'll tell you that it ain't easy. But when you have God in your life, when you know when we're weak, He's strong. And there was a lot of days that He carried me.
Do you have any plans like outside of virtually, like a center, you know, or something like a facility or anything like that? You know what I'm saying?
Or
Yes,
any programs or anything you're working on?
I'm trying to get. I got my hands in so much stuff. Trying to, you know, again, this is I'm only a year in. I'm
Mhm.
learning a lot. A lot of this is trial and error. I would like to get into schools because I feel like with you know if you get the children young, if you get their minds acclimated in mental health, I think that it can help them grow, right? Instead of you know, we're grown and we're just now really acknowledging mental health. And that's
Mhm.
it's not to say anything like is wrong with because you know, you no matter how old you are, it's never too late to get your mind right and to be better. But in terms of children, a lot of people have childhood trauma. So if we can get to these children at a young age, I think that it could be very beneficial. So I want to get into schools. I want to be, you know, with politicians. I do want to brick and mortar. There's a whole lot of things that I want, but I'm just kind of just going through the motions and just letting God lead me to wherever He may, you know.
Okay, I do wanna say something really quick about don't say things like you just going through the motions and I'm only a year in. That's a lot. Some people decide, you know what, I'm on a diet, do this, it lasts for 2 hours, or thought in their
My
head.
last diet lasted for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and I know you're not saying it to do this, but
Mhm.
you want to just make sure, man, you reassuring yourself too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Giving
yeah.
yourself positive affirmations, um,
This is
and knowing that it's major what you're doing.
hmm
Like you just said, a lot of people are religious. They forget that it says faith without works or faith without deeds or whatever is dead. You
hmm
put in the work constantly and consistently. We here now because you putting in the work. Somebody recognized your work and wanted to make other people aware.
yeah,
Um, and plans are cool. Like you also inspiring other people. If somebody is watching this or any of your other interviews or shows, and they decide to do something in the center, they build a center, you helped it. You were
yeah,
a part of that process. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things you're gonna do that you're not even gonna be aware of. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So just always look at it as a high level thing or whatever. Just like we look at somebody getting 100,000 views on something or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Same thing. So
this is
um,
true. This is true.
yeah,
Thank you for that. You're right.
yeah. Well, yeah. I trust me. I've been through a lot of different things. I did time. You know what I'm saying? And
hmm
a lot of things I've been through, it definitely affects your mental health. And you were saying, you know, we get older. The older we get, the more we need it because we depend more on our mind because our bodies start to fail us in different ways, some more than others. So there is no too late or not now. The time is now. Every second you think about the time is that moment, like now, 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 now.
Yeah.
You know,
The moment you become aware that there's an issue is the time to become proactive,
yes.
right? Because you have to, the person has to want to be better and, you know, acknowledge the fact that they could be better if they begin to start unpacking some of the things that they've endured, went through, seen, experienced, their environment. There's a whole bunch of situations that cater to who we are and who we've grown up to be, right?
Mhm.
But once you realize that there's a problem, it's the time to become proactive. And I don't just talk about it. I can, you know, I have a whole list of resources I can redirect people to. You know, it's not enough to just, you know, like you said earlier, like I'm about that action.
Mhm.
I don't like to talk a lot. I want to show, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? So that's that
Mhm.
it kind of counterbalances. And I just want people to be healthy mentally because this 3 pound organ has the ability to make or break every situation in your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's responsible for everything that we see. Everything
Everything,
starts with a thought.
everything. Mhm.
And I want people to know that I'm about action doesn't always mean aggressiveness. Like
Yeah,
you
like
know
a
what I
fight
mean?
and shoot it out or something.
Yeah, like being vulnerable sometimes is the action and being able to share your experiences with people because that takes action. You have to be brave. You got to be, you know, willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I had a situation when I was younger where my father kidnapped my mother in front of me, my sister, and my aunt. and I tried to help. He hit me. I kind of blacked out. Long story short, I grew up so upset that I couldn't save her or my sister. So I didn't think about this till years later. And I figured this is where my problem with authority came, because
Mhm.
I always felt they were like a threat to me, and I didn't ever want to feel scared like I did again, like where I was frozen in fear. So I
Yeah.
just lashed out every time I felt like somebody was trying to be that monster toward me, even if it wasn't their intention. So I got straight A's in school, but my behavior was always a problem with authority.
Mhm.
He won't listen, or this, or whatever like that. And I started realizing things like that is where it stemmed from.
Right.
And once I realized that, I was able to help more people, so
Mhm.
able to understand myself better. And now I get pulled over or something like that. I don't just have that super
Yes.
itch, and I'm not perfect. I sometimes, I lose the battle, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's just to prove your point that things that happen when we're super small will affect you in today's time.
Yeah.
I've had a terrible run-ins with police before, and it still currently affects me, bro. Like
Mhm.
I get jittery. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I could see them 5 cars back. I pull into a random driveway. You know what I mean? Like,
So, can I ask you a question?
yes, ma'am.
Do you know what the root of that issue is? Because the way that you can begin to chip away at that is to get to the root of the problem. Why you feel like that?
I actually do. Um, Growing up, my mama did 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? And just having to grow up and visit her through a sale and everything, and then enduring my own experiences with them in the way I've had. Uh, yeah, that's the whole root of it.
Okay. So what I hear when you say that is you have not been able to get beyond that experience.
Yeah,
So, it's gonna take some time, possibly. The good thing is that it's not like you don't know, right? The good thing is that you do know. So now you can start trying to get even deeper with that. All right. So is it because my mom did 20 years? Is it because of the things that I saw that I can't get beyond? And if that is, what do I need to do to change my mind about it? Because our minds are powerful. What you put in here, you can do. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? If you want to.
and I was
So
going to ask you that, like, what are some tips? Because like what I just said, that is a part of mental health. Y'all think
yes,
mental health is like I'm going crazy?
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah,
like mental health is a accumulation. I don't know if I use that word right,
yeah.
but it's a plethora
You
of a
did.
lot of different things. You know what I mean? It's not just I'm doing drugs, I'm drinking a lot, this, that, and the third. No, it's traumas, it's experiences, it's all that combined. So,
It
what's
is.
some ways to deal with that?
Yeah. So before I answer that, I will say too, when people drink and smoke and do drugs, a lot of times it's as a result of something that they're trying to escape,
Yeah,
right? Because they have not tended to the things that haunt them. Being inebriated, smoking. I know when I was going through my journey, I smoked hella weed. That's all I did. Like
yeah,
some days I didn't even eat. Like I just wanted a blunt because it got me out of my reality for a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's what people want. They want to detach. They don't want to think about the things that they've endured and that they've seen. But as far as your question, what are some of the things that you can do? You can I'm big on, God said, write it down, make it plain. I feel like when you write things down, you're freeing up space in here so you can think logically and you can be proactive. And when I say being proactive, that means figuring out what you need to do. Do you ever have like a whole bunch of stuff on your mind and it's all just running consecutively?
yeah.
But when you get a pad and you write it down, you're like, okay, all right, let me. You can prioritize, and then you can start working and being more active. But when you are hosting it, there's no way for you to do that. I think too, like for me, I pamper myself. Like on Monday, I was out of work for 2 days. I went and got a massage. I got a facial. I went did a little shopping. Just
Do your
something
thing.
to
Do your thing.
feel like, please, like you still gotta reward yourself, and you still have to feel good about yourself, right? So it just really depends on what a person likes and what makes them happy. But a lot of people don't know what makes them happy. And I asked that on my Facebook a few months ago. And I had a lot of responses. People can't answer that because they think people make them happy. And no, happiness comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I know what makes me happy. So because I'm pouring in so many other cups, I pour into my own. I make sure that I stay watered so I can continue to do what I'm doing. So it just really it depends. It depends on what people like.
Yeah. And me personally, man, no, everybody has different beliefs. I saw Randall say something about beliefs too, but whether you pray, meditate, or whatever, you gotta have a calm place.
Yeah.
Or like you said, you have your days where you pamper yourself and stuff like that. You got to develop a good relationship with yourself before
Mhm.
anybody else. You got to be able to trust yourself to say, "Hey, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to make sure we do this." I love meditation. It calms me. It's a really good book. I want to say the author's name is William Glasser. And it's called Choice Theory. I think that's a really good book. But I also learned that you gotta learn more. You gotta arm yourself with different tools. A lot of us walk around with one tools like a hammer. Like we get either it's just violence, being loud or whatever. We have one tool that we try to fix everything with. You can't fix things with one tool.
Yeah.
Everything doesn't require a hammer. So sometimes you gotta arm yourself with patience,
Yeah.
discernment, different things like that or whatever to deal with different types of situations. And also always focus on it's something that I've learned since I've been out. Focus on improving on how you treat other people. That always, like to me, that always is crazy when I realized like I didn't think I was doing something incorrect or wrong to somebody, and then you realize like no, I was,
Yeah.
or that my perception of it doesn't matter. How they feel is the only thing that matters as far as when we're dealing with each other and they feel like, hey, I feel like you're mistreating me in this way, or man, you over talking me, man, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you try to improve on that. It just humbles you, it steals you, it calms you, it gives you more confidence
It does.
dealing with people. Because sometimes you see a person frowned up, you just give them a smile or open the door and they face lights up sometimes or whatever. So you feel armed with these different tools.
Yeah. And
Whatever.
you never know what's on their minds, right? Like, somebody could be, you could think they mean mugging, but they in their head about something that they going
Yep.
through. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So like you said, the smallest gesture, opening the door, even if they a little bit far, you hold it for them. People appreciate that. And you never know whose day you're changing by one small act, one small
Mhm.
kind act, right?
Yep.
So it's each one to each one. Once you start to become aware, you start actively doing these things, and then they become, maybe that person now will do something nice for somebody else because they feel good.
Yep. And also it's an ongoing process. Don't never feel like you done.
Woo!
You know, and or never feel like you done, no matter how intelligent you are, because that's what I always have leaned on in my life. I'm smart. I could figure it out just like that. I'm a fast learner, and it's a lot we don't know. We'll be a student of life forever.
Forever.
Yep.
I'm so glad you said that because I was going to say that. Like people, I don't ever want people to think I'm saying, oh, I'm so healed, I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm still
Mhm.
a work in progress. God still ain't done with me. Now, the part that needed to die, the part of me that needed to die is gone.
Mhm.
However, life will never stop lifing for anybody, right?
Mhm.
So when one challenge is done, God lets you come up for air, and then you go back into another one,
Mhm.
and it's going to be like that until the day we die. But people just have to be willing to put in the work and not get frustrated by the constant work because it's relentless.
Mhm.
You
And
know?
the people you're around matters too, man. The type
Yes.
of company you keep,
Yeah.
the type of things you digest, whether it's online, whether it's you reading it or scrolling or whatever, the
Yeah.
things that you just feed your mind affects who you are, your attitude.
Yep.
A lot of us
Towards
wake up,
people too.
yeah, a lot of
You
people
could
wake
be.
up.
Go ahead. My bad.
So
Cut
a
you.
lot of people wake up and they're looking for the program of the day. Like, how am I supposed to feel today? What am I mad at? What celebrity am I going to buy into, or a celebrity couple, or whatever like that?
Mhm.
So we got to be careful of that stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah, because you could be in a very loving, caring relationships. You cut that TikTok on, and you
Mm,
get to scrolling, and you see all these mythological
mm,
things. You know what I mean? All these overseas trips, in
Yes.
Dubai's, and everything
Yes.
like that. And then
Yes.
now you're looking at your spouse like, nah, this ain't right. Now you don't even want to be with him anymore just because of what you've seen on social
Yeah.
media, something like that.
And
yep.
people can put anything they want on social media. People don't put their darkest times. They don't
I
highlight
say
that.
that all the
Like,
time.
yeah,
They put their best foot forward.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
facade. It's a facade.
And all of us is in this. It makes sense to do that because you want to share. You don't want to, but at the same time, man, you got to be like you said. You got to be aware that that's what people are doing, so you don't start coveting this life that doesn't exist. Like
Exactly.
Yo-Yo just said, like this mythical, whatever lifestyle that people are,
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it does. Social media is like a gift and a curse. Like it has its good, but it has its bad as well. And that's why I know a lot of other people struggle with their mental health too, because they feel like they have to compare and compete where they don't compare. Right? I meant to say they want to compete where they don't compare.
Mhm.
So ultimately, like you don't know and you got to be careful counting other people's blessings because you don't know what it took for them to get there.
Yep.
Maybe what they endured to get there would have took you out. You know what I mean? So like people have to just keep their eyes on their own paper. If that's something you want to do, strive for it, work for it. Don't rely on your mate. You make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So comparing yourself to people on social media, it is easy to do that because it's starting to train your mind. If you're scrolling all day, you looking at your life like, damn, like what's up? When that's not, you don't know what they're struggling with. It's a picture, it's a video. At the end of that, you don't know what's going on. So people have to be careful with comparing themselves to people on social media because
No, that's absolutely true, man. Well, listen, I hate that I have to go, y'all. I have to get out of here. I feel honored to have this conversation with both of y'all, man. I always love stuff like this. I feel charged up. Which is another thing, you got to keep those people around you that have you feel charged up.
Yes.
And I'll definitely subscribing. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I get your information from Yo-Yo. I got somebody, like I said, I want to connect you with.
Okay.
I appreciate everybody that showed up in the chat, man. I see some of y'all that's on the battle rap side too. We appreciate y'all, man. And if y'all honestly, if y'all want to talk about this type of stuff, is welcome on my channel over there too. So thank you so much for having me, Yo-Yo. I appreciate you, man. As always, Kay, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
I'm sure we'll have more conversations like this. And spread some awareness, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Of course. Likewise. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So let me ask you a couple more questions before we get out of here, right?
Sure. I got all day. Come on, let's go.
Now, when someone gets over, a big, hump in their life and they take a big step and they're working on themselves mentally, physically, and everything, what are some good strategies to keep the negative away? You know what I'm saying?
So you're like Chris said, the company you keep is very important. So if you have a lot of toxic people around you, sometimes you have to cut the head of the snake, right? I actually did a video about that too. I feel like when, depending on some people, our family members, our friends, we may like really love them, but they really may be bad for us moving forward. So then you take those people in doses, right? So that means you don't spend a lot of time around them, because if you ever been around somebody that's got such negative energy and they always find the bad in everything and they just focus on it, that drains your energy. When you're trying to move beyond your stuff and you're trying to stay in a positive headspace, you can't have a bunch of people in the back with the negativity because you can fall victim to it, right? So if you're not ready to cut them off, take them in doses. Don't let them come to your house. You go to their house. So that way you're in control of how long you're around in their presence or they're in your presence. Limit your social media intake. Limit how much you watch the news. Read self-help books. Go outside, walk, and without your phone. You know what I mean? Just take in the nature, take in life. Self-reflect. There's a whole host of things that people can do. It's just a matter of how bad they want it. Sometimes it's good to withdraw and meditate, pray, do yoga, you know what I mean? And just kind of calm your mind and just keep yourself and so start surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people. They're out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you want somebody that's going to help you and motivate you when you aren't feeling your best self, right? Yeah. Somebody that's going to be like, girl, you got it. Come on. I always see the glass as half full. So anytime somebody comes to me, and it happens a lot, they'll tell me what's going on, and I'm always able to extract that silver lining out of every situation. And I get them to focus on what the silver lining is instead of the actual situation. So you need people around that can fill your cup. You don't want someone that's going to constantly be taken from you, taken. You need somebody that can kind of help balance you out and be like, girl or boy or son, whoever, you got it. What can I do to help you? You know what I mean? People don't just like, I see on social media a lot. People really be going through stuff and they'll be like crying for help because people really don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
It's just always, oh, prayers. Prayers are good, right? But how about you ask that person, is there anything you can do? Right? I'm that person. I've slid up in people's DMs. I don't even know them. But if I see it on my friend's page, hey, I don't know you. You good? Do you need resources? You need to talk, whatever the case may be, but you need people around that really wants you to be good.
Okay. That is a fact. I said that the other day after actually watching your podcast. I said,
Really?
you got to cut people off that are not going to magnify your situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And not judge you,
Yeah.
Because that's why a lot of people don't open up, the fear of judgment. People don't want to be judged, and people internalize and they internalize so much. And for so long, sometimes it becomes detrimental. Like people kill themselves, people turn to drugs, people, everyone's different, right? But you need people around you that's going to water you, that's going to help you and not judge you and create safe space and not tell your business. That's another big
People
one.
love doing that. You can have a conversation about, I ain't washed my feet in 2 days. Listen, you need to make them mad. That's coming out. It happens a lot. Like I said, in battle rap, it gets real messy over here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's one reason why I really wanted to bring you up and have this conversation is because they need to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't get mad when certain people don't rock with certain people anymore. You know what I mean? Somebody may be on a self journey, but when you really are for somebody, whether you're included or not, when they're on that journey, you're gonna accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because why wouldn't you? You saying that you don't want your friend or the person you care about to become better?
Yeah.
You don't want them to live better and become lighter and unpack like that. I wouldn't understand. I would never understand why somebody would do that. Unless, misery does love company. Fortunately for me, I have great friends. I don't have anybody around me that's like that. You know what I'm saying? I surround myself with positive women who everybody want to see everybody win. No one's jealous. No one's hating on each other. No one's talking about each other. I think you said you saw the video of me giving the women the flowers, right?
Yeah.
It was like 12 of us in there. Some women didn't even know each other, but everybody's energies just meshed and it was a good time. You know what I mean? You want people around you like that, not people that's sitting in the corner. She thinks she cute, or I know who her man is. Like, no. Check all that at the door, sweetheart. We're not doing that.
Yeah. You said that background can cause seizures. It's very distracting. Listen, let me do Okay, so what are you gonna say is your next step that you really want to pour into? You know what I'm saying? Like seminars or like what do you have planned? We already touched on what you have planned outside of this, but what are you really about to tag like in the near future?
There's so many different things. But I've learned to not say it because you got people out here that will pray against it and try to sabotage. But I definitely do want to do something more consistent and where I can have more people to talk and, brick and mortar type things. I don't, really want to say too much, but the power in the tongue.
Yeah, you never give too much away. You know what I'm saying? Because that same positive energy that you pour into it could be the same negative energy that someone else pours into it and does not want to see you, accomplish your goals. So
so that's why you got to keep some things to yourself.
Money said, do you have a degree in the field you're speaking on?
Nope, I surely do not.
It's all off of experience, y'all. We just covered this.
All experience based.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was a fire interview. Definitely, man.
Thank you.
No, for real. Like I said, y'all make sure you don't be jumping in no DMs trying to flirt and stuff. Cause Kay is very attractive. It was hard for me to do it, okay? It was hard. But make sure you show her some love. You know what I'm saying? When's the next time you're going live?
I go every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So I have a different guest every time, different subject matters, but they all relate to mental health. To just let people, I wanted to create a platform for people to share their story. There's a lot of people who, like me, was going through things and couldn't identify it. And they now use their experience because they found life or found purpose in their traumas and their, you know what I mean? So it's like everybody just wants to help. I know a lot of people who just wants to help, so that's what we do.
Amber, salute, Amber. How's your night going? Salute, welcome in. Do you network with counselors to provide support for people that reach out in and out of state?
I do not currently. Everything's for me is one-on-one right now. I have people who do know counselors or like in children's home, and they'll ask me to speak. So right now, I'm not networking with any counselors. I hope to in the future because I think that'll extend my reach. But right now, no.
Okay. Yeah, that'll definitely help extend your reach. For real, for real.
Yeah,
I think that'd be dope.
yeah.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell the people where maybe follow you at, stay in contact, reach out if they ever need, an ear, and not to flirt, you guys. Right.
Yes, I'm very professional. I will help anyone, but I'm very professional. People can reach me at on Instagram at The Experience with Kay. That's all one word, and K is Kay. The same goes for TikTok. The same goes for what's the other one? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Everything's The Experience with Kay. But before we go, I do want to tell any and everyone that's watching that this too shall pass, right? Everybody, you would not walk out your door today and meet someone who's not going through something. Everybody struggles with something, but that's a part of life. And no matter how traumatic your situation may have been, no matter if you can't see the smoke from the trees, at the end of the day, it will get better. Things always work itself out. It's just going through the motions. It's uncomfortable there, right? It's very uncomfortable. But I promise you, the work is going to be difficult, but the end result is going to be so worth it. You're going to feel so much better. You'll be better. Your children will be recipients of it. Your spouse, your friends, whomever. And it's never too late to start. But when you do go through it, give yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. But that's life. And it happens to everybody. And just take your time and be easy and just stay anchored in a higher power. And I promise you'll get through it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, before I officially let you go, so for my boy Battle Factz, are you married by chance?
No, I'm not married.
Okay. There you go, Battle Factz. The Experience with Kay. No, I'm just playing. It's definitely been lovely talking to you. I appreciate it a lot. You know, it was a healthy conversation. I even got to open up a little bit about one of my experiences.
Yeah, and if you ever need to talk, you got my info. I definitely can. I'm definitely open to that. And I do want to thank you for sharing your platform with me because I would have never I can't say got in contact, but I would have never had the opportunity to speak to people from where you guys are and your followers. So I thank you for stumbling across my YouTube yesterday and inviting me to come and do this interview. It was amazing, and I do thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, commenting. Follow me, The Experience with Kay. Go on YouTube, subscribe. We have really healthy conversations. And if anyone needs help with anything, or there's a subject matter they want to discuss or want me to discuss with a guest, let me know and we can make it happen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that was a dope, healthy conversation. Listen, you said you got one with this one twice. Listen, I haven't. I did made sure I didn't have any drinks. I got through 15 minutes without a pull of this black and mild. Oh God. I didn't want to make it awkward for Battle Factz, but it took a lot for me to not, get in a different bag, you guys. It took a lot. Lord, thank you. I appreciate you for controlling me. But y'all know, man, this is battle rap. What we do over here, man, it gets nasty. You know what I'm saying? It gets real reckless. You know what I mean? Reckless endangerment. It gets real reckless. Hey, Papa. It gets real reckless and everything like that. Shout out to the discipline. Yes. Thanks for continuing to time me out. Mama Ward, salute. I'm proud of myself too, Cheeks. It hit different when somebody pouring into you as opposed to tearing you down. It definitely does hit different. And I appreciate her for coming up here, sharing her testimony, sharing her experience, listening to mine. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have any questions, further questions for her and what she does, if y'all want to share your experiences, make sure you contact her and get you an interview on her platform, man, so you can open up. You know what I mean? Networking is real good to do. It works wonders. And yeah, so I appreciate y'all. Salute to Cheeks. Cheeks has been on it. Pow, 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 pow. You know what I'm saying? Jeez Louise. Shout out to the discipline. Listen. Mm. Sometimes you gotta, what I mean, look out for your peoples. And don't be jumping to her DMs either, okay? Seats taken. Can't sit here, okay? I know she looking all spicy. I know she, you know what I mean? She sauced up in her. So, listen, Barsky to God, we don't know. I've never really seen you over here before. I can't lie. Um, Bro, this is a positive stream, man. We're not gonna go off on a negative tangent. Cheeks, are you going live tonight? Cheeks needed Miss K to jump on her live this morning. Gosh. Cheeks needed Miss K to jump on her live this morning. Okay, Cheeks is going live tonight. Make sure you Cheeks the Hodologist right here, man. Make sure you tap in, show some love to her. It's very lit over there. You know what I mean? Very lit, very crazy. He said, definitely putting kitty litter in your sandwich. Foul Bundy. 10 minutes. Sniper gang is out. Okay, there's a bar breakdown going down now on Married to the Bars. So I'm about to shut this down. We can run over to Married to the Bars. Um, everything. Salute to, listen, Miss K. I'm gonna stay up about the year, man. I'll be in Jersey in 3 days. Listen, make sure y'all, like I said, I'm gonna drop the page one more time, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. What are we doing here, man? If y'all like different type of content other than this, D Money will be live tonight, 11:30. Make sure you tap in with him, show him some love. It's lit over there as well. So we got a lot of lives that's going down tonight. Amber. I'm trying to keep it clean. Y'all are insane. Other than that, man, listen, it's definitely been a dope one with y'all. I appreciate y'all popping out. I am so tired. I got jet lag. I got sleep. You know what I mean? Mm, mm, mm. These texts are getting is nasty and insane. Listen, Amber, you know what time it is. But yeah, salute to y'all. I'll see y'all on one of these lives. Married to the bars right now. Show some love, man. We up out of here. It's been a real one. Salute to Miss K once again. You know what I mean? And y'all know what we got going down on the battle rap side, man. There's no need to keep doing this little ish. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any motivational songs pulled up, so I'm not even gonna play nothing on the way out of here. I'm just about to end it. Big salute to y'all. Thank y'all for popping out, Cheeks. I appreciate everything. Cheeks After Dark going down tonight. D Money Backstory Battle League. Make sure you pop out for that. Let's go.